Welcome to Sashan Design's Corner of YouTube. My name is Vanessa, and I'm the creative founder of Sashan Designs, a handmade stationery shop. And what you'll learn about me is I like to dive right in. And so we are going to do, I guess, what we could call the finale of the one word for 2024. And we're going to, in day 3 of the journaling series that we did, if you haven't had an opportunity to check that out, I'm going to link it somewhere. I think it's going to be on this side. I feel like I favor this side. We'll see. It'll be somewhere on the screen right now, where you can get to the playlist and be intentional about journaling and spending time with God to discover your one word for 2024. But if you already have your word, whether you did the journaling series or not, this is an opportunity for us to create spaces to put our word front and center. On day 3, like I was mentioning, we talked about kind of how do we make sure that our word is active all year round. And the two kind of buckets, so to speak, were accountability partners and places where you can see your word. And so we're really today going to be talking about those places. I have already told my accountability partners what my word is for 2024, and it has been already exciting, only just a few days into the new year. So what you will need is first, just think about different places. I think I shared some of the places that I like to put my word is in my bathroom, on the mirror, in my office, in my car. So I'll definitely be writing some Post-its out today to put those in those spaces. Where else? This year, I'm going to be doing a word box. I know that there have been a lot of videos on social media around doing a prayer board, maybe in substitution of a vision board. I've never been a boards person, but this box feels right for me. I tell my friends sometimes I'm a hoarder of memories. I just love memories. And so I have a couple of memory boxes. So it's kind of that same concept. And hopefully throughout the year, as I do different things and experience life, because again, we do life and we do life on paper, that we can, start filling in our box. So if you want to do something similar, grab a box, a jar, a bin, whatever, you have around the house. I literally just have worked with what's in my home. I didn't buy anything new. It may require, if you want to, you can certainly do so, but just find something laying around the house. We've got all year to build this up too. I have my notebook. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And where else? Oh, and I'm doing something exciting. I'm like, how did I forget? So in the shop, I make candles. So you can purchase candles on my website. And that was new for me last year. And so this year I decided, why don't I make a candle for my word? So I played around with fragrances and have my fragrance candle for the year. But don't worry if you're not a candle maker, because I know I assume, let me know, am I getting this? Maybe I shouldn't assume, but I assume, at least at this juncture, most of you who are watching may not be candle makers. But I have some alternatives for you when it comes to candles, if that is an interest, to kind of have a candle for the year to go with your word. So go ahead, pause this video. I'm going to go grab the things that I want to write down my word on, that I want to maybe write some Bible verses. I usually find a verse to go along with my word for the year. And my notebook. So grab all your materials. We're going to get a little crafty here. Maybe even journal just a little bit, but really this one's more a little chat about how we can make sure our word remains active all year round. All right, I'll see you on the other side of the play button. All right, we're back. And please, I should have said this before, so if you need to pause me again to get more things, be creative. Truly be creative. Have fun with this. This is exciting time. Again, I personally don't do vision boards, so this would probably be the closest that I would get to like a vision board, like party or situation or whatever. And so if you do a vision board, then feel free to like, yeah, incorporate your word into it. I imagine that you would, but just saying. But get creative. Hopefully y'all didn't hear that. Get creative with however you want to display your word. So first thing, I should probably share what my word is, because at the end of the series, I did not know what it was. I did not know. Is that English? I don't know. I didn't have my word at the end of the series. That sounds like a better sentence. And so, because I was convinced, I think I even said it in day 1 or maybe day 2 that I went into the series thinking I knew what my word was. Like, I was convinced. And I was like, yep, God, I'm doing this because you told me to. We're going to do it with the peoples, but I already know what it is. And literally on day 2, I wrote it down as I was journaling because the word came to me and I was like, what? What? No way. Plot twist. Literally wrote down. Plot twist. And so for 2024, my word is enough. It's not cute. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's not cute, but it's my word. It's my God word, and we're gonna roll with it. And it has already been so huge in my life already. So I will share what I've done. I had this like chalkboard table tent thing that I was actually decluttering a little bit and was going to get rid of it, and something told me to keep it. And now, so what I've done, and hopefully you guys can see this, is I've done my word in the year and then the Bible verse, the first Bible verse that I immediately thought of when the word enough was the word, which is my grace is sufficient for you. It's from 2 Corinthians 12:9. But, oof, he's so good. That's not the verse, but that's cute. So I kept it. And on the other side, which is the dry erase board side, which I hope this does come off eventually, but the dry erase side is really what my verse is, which comes out of Deuteronomy 2, verse 2 and 3, which is, and the Lord spoke to me saying, you have circled this mountain long enough. Now turn north. So the devil is a lie. He knew I was saying something powerful. He just didn't want y'all to hear it. No, but really, my mic died. And so kind of explain what I suggested, and then you'll see me go into doing the crafting and the just prepping my different areas, and I invite you to still do that with me. I'll play some music during that portion, and then I'll come back, talk a little bit more, but this one's, we gotta adjust and we're gonna make it work. So here I'm just sharing more about how this word, really, this Bible verse versus the one on the other side was just so rich. But we're going to keep both, and we're going to leave that on our nightstand, which is different for me. Surprisingly, I've never actually left my word on my nightstand. So that's going to just be a nice place for that. And I'm excited, truly excited about this word. What else am I talking about? Too much. Look at me go. Anywho, now I'm just talking about my notebooks. I use a different notebook typically for my devotionals than my regular journal. And so currently in the shop, you can purchase the Devoted Collection, which includes a planner, notebook, devoted cards, stickers, and candles. And so I just wanted to dive in a little bit about the notebook because it's the only item in the shop that you could actually customize. And you can customize it with your own Bible verse on the front cover, as well as your word for the year on the inside cover. Everyone gets the same back Bible verse, which on the backhand side, it says, rejoicing in hope, persevering in tribulation, devoted to prayer, Romans 12:12. But if you don't have a word for the year or you don't want to customize the word, that's okay. The front cover is, "But we will devote ourselves to prayer and to the ministry of the word," from Acts 6:4. And the word on the inside on each page is "devoted." You can get the notebook in either blue or pink. The colors are not customizable, but this is a nice way for you to keep your word front and center if you want to use a custom notebook for your devotional time, especially since this is your God word. Then you might want to check out the shop. Just doing a personal plug here to see if you want to get a Sashan Designs notebook. This is just my alternative to the prayer vision board that people are, or that I'm seeing more of on social media. As I mentioned earlier, I am a hoarder of memories, and so for me, this just felt right and a great way to kind of capture some of the things throughout the year that I may experience that seem to be in direct correlation with my word. For example, last year I went to Sarah Jakes Roberts Women Evolve Conference in Texas, and that was a new experience for me. And so I would put like the badge from that conference in this box if I would have done a box last year. So that's kind of how I want to repurpose this box. Like I said, I didn't buy anything new. It was a box that I had from a previous event. Took the things off of, and as you can see, I am now adding my word. If you have a silhouette or a Cricut machine, that is what I use to get my word on the top of the box. I just got some vinyl, or I had some vinyl and used that. But anywho, I'm just kind of, prepping my box, but also think it's a really great way to, keep your memories from the year that are directly connected to your word. So this is the Believing Bigger pass along notes. This is from Marshawn Daniels. She has a book called Believe Bigger, and it also came with a journal and pass along notes, which I have not passed along at all, but it came at just the perfect time in my life. Me coming across her devotional on the YouVersion Bible app, which I cannot stress enough the timing of that devotional and where I was in my life. And it was pretty low. So it was just perfect timing. And it was the first time that from a devotional that I actually took it a step further and bought the book, bought the journal, and bought the pass along notes, and eventually even got it for a friend as well, and then ended up doing a mini book club with her and my cousin. It was super cool to just be able to be in sisterhood around a book that just, especially where we were in our lives, it was good. So anyways, there's these pass alongs. I will be adding that into my box. Of course, I will pull from the devoted deck. So now at this point, what I want you to do this next portion is us just kind of organizing and putting together our items. So grab your materials. You should already have them at this point. And let's journal / prep our word for the year together. All right. I hope you were able to create different ways to keep your word front and center. Like I said, I wrote out some post-its, wrote the word in different ways. Some had the year on them, some did not. So I'll put that in different places. I have more than what places I'm going to put it, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. And then my candle was in a good place to be able to finally label it. And just as an alternative for those who aren't candle makers, feel free to take a candle. Maybe it's your favorite candle, or maybe you do purchase a candle that you want to associate with your year. And if you have a printer and labels, you can write your word on the label. You could print it on the label and then put it over the candle that you purchased. Or you could just know that that particular scent is your candle for the year. You can just write on top of their label, but you don't have to. If you want a scent for the year to go along with your word for the year, it doesn't have to be hand poured by, by getting all of those materials and stuff like that. You can just purchase a candle, write it on a piece of paper, stick that piece of paper on the candle and call it a day. But I think this will be a fun. I like to light a candle when I'm journaling. So I think that would be just a nice way to be even more intentional. Again, trying to find different ways to keep my word front and center. So the two pass along notes that I found were one says, "May the Spirit of the Lord guide you, guard you, and grow the real spiritual giant within you." And the verse was, "Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly." John 7:24. From the NIV version. And then Marshawn says, "God has already overcome every obstacle we could ever face. Don't let appearances stop you from seeing the unseen, mighty hand of God at work in your life." And so on the backhand side, I'll probably journal on them at some point in the year. And then the other one, the other one says, "You have what it takes. I'm trusting God to help you realize and remember that you're more than enough to make an impact where you are right now." Y'all, I had to use that one. And then the verse is, "Let your good deeds shine out for all to see so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father." And that's from Matthew 5:16 from the NLT version. And Marshawn's word was, "Your calling and vision are bigger than you. You need God's guidance and grace to see them through. God can't bless actions we never take." Ugh. So rich, so rich. So those are the two that I pulled from and put in my box. I put a postcard, I should say, at the bottom of the box, and it says, "And the Lord spoke to me saying, you have circled this mountain long enough. Now turn north." So the verse. And then when I pulled from the deck, oh my goodness, y'all can see this was super spontaneous. Man, oh man. Just so rich. Like, you see me pausing because I'm like, y'all don't even understand. Like, it just took me by surprise. But again, God know what he doing. So it says, "God does not want you to be stuck in the desert. He has built a roadway for you. You must see it, faith it." And I really do feel like my accountability partners, at least, will really know why I was so touched by that and being that randomly pulled out, because really and truly, the verse that I just read about, "You have circled this mountain long enough," is about being in the wilderness. It's about being in that desert space when the Israelites were in that desert space. And so to have that be the card that came out the deck, my goodness, y'all, like, it was just It was so rich, and I hate that the sound went away because I don't even know if I'm doing it justice in this moment, but just to know like everything's on purpose. The divine timing of God is just beyond measure, beyond measure. And this verse, this word, this deck card, like all of it, it's just bigger. It's so much bigger than than I could have imagined. So I'm super excited for 2024. And I hope that you all had rich and impactful moments with God throughout this devotional series as you were crafting to make sure that your word is front and center, that it just be the best year yet because you were intentional at the very start of the year to let God lead you to your word, and you're going to be intentional with your word this year and let God change your life. Like this is going to be a breakthrough word for people. This is going to be such an impactful word, and I'm just excited for you. And so I invite you to leave your word in the comments so we could be an accountability partner for you. I invite you to share the different spaces and places that you put your word. Maybe it will inspire somebody else. Maybe it'll inspire me to put my word somewhere that I maybe didn't think about. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that you could be first to know about these journaling sessions and conversations. We will, yes, do faith journaling again, but also other different types of journaling styles. So I would love for you to be a part of the community, and you can do that by subscribing to this channel, like, comment. I appreciate the support. I thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you on the other side of the play button. Until next time, do life on paper.